Welcome to the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show, a broadcast service of globalbusinessnews.net.
Now, here's your host, Ed Cohen.
This is Ed in Phoenix, Arizona today, and our special guest is nearby in Arizona. Let's welcome Tamara Becker from Adamo, or is it Adamo?
Adamo.
Adamo, education.org. And Tamara is the founder and CEO. And do you also teach?
I do, again.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. So tell us briefly, a lot of people already know about you through our marketing and your own marketing. Tell us about your company and your micro education concept. I think it's great.
Yeah, so Adamo is a group of micro schools, a smaller, more personalized learning environment that works to customize and personalize an educational plan for each individual student. We have students in grades K through 7, and they all learn side by side as more or less a re-envisioning of the one-room schoolhouse.
So one-room schoolhouse conjures up these ideas of people my age as well as 6-year-olds. So that's not true, is it?
No, we only go through K through 8. So.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you have that K through 8, that's still quite a range of maturity and experience. When there's reading, writing, arithmetic, what do the older kids do?
Well, we tend to group our kids in grade level bands K3 and then 4-8. The standards align so that we can teach across grade levels and still cover all of the grade level standards. So we do collaborative projects together related to science and social studies across the grade level bands. But then for the main core subjects, we really do try to focus on those grade level groupings.
And within, I was going to ask within the day, just a typical day, what percentage of that is video training, whereby everyone looks at some video and then discuss? Is that part of that education process?
Very little of that. Our teacher is really developing lessons based on the standards and developing hands-on projects so that when the students are with the teacher, they're really engaged in learning. And then we're utilizing a digital platform as reinforcement when they're not with the teacher face-to-face.
Interesting. So in the cute little videos that I've seen, the PR pieces about Adamo and the schools, it shows a really loving and warm environment. You really specialize in that, don't you?
Yeah, we do. We want students to be excited about learning and about coming to our program. We don't have them sitting in rows and sitting in desks all day. We really get involved and create a positive learning environment for them. So they like coming to the program.
Once again, this is Tamara Becker, and it's Adamo education.org. So you've had a really good year, and it's not just because of your advertising with us, it's because you're doing really good work, and the word goes out to the parent community. I would assume that's the easiest way to promote your business.
Yeah, we've had significant growth this year. We started with 12 students in the fall, and we're up to 26 students in grades K through 7. And next year, we are going to be launching a new micro school program in the Queen Creek area, so in the Southeast Valley.
Isn't that great? And so what are the hours of education typically?
So next year, we will be running a morning and an afternoon session in order to accommodate the parent and student needs and demand. So students will come face-to-face with the teacher for a 3-hour period and then have about an hour and a half to 2 hours of learning that needs to take place at home.
What does that mean at home? Does that mean virtual?
No, it means at home with their parents. So they will be utilizing whether it be the digital platform or reinforcement tools to fill learning gaps or to develop some of the work that relates to the hands-on collaborative projects aligned to science and social studies. So they could be doing research, they could be reading a book for a literature study, they could be practicing their handwriting. It'll just depend on what the teacher is working on at that particular time.
This episode from the meeting room of Global TV Talk Show is brought to you by Porchlight Rental and Destination Services. Reduce your renter lump sum or managed relocation costs. Visit them at porchlightrental.com.
And by airs.com. With our full range of services, we can help design and manage your international relocation. Find us at airs.com.
Primestone Partners, featuring corporate, government, and developer housing solutions, as well as senior-level advisory services. Find them at primestonepartners.com.
Stop dreaming and start living overseas. International lifestyle consultant Emily Braun can help you seamlessly transition to your new life in your dream destination. Whether you are a retiree, a digital nomad, or a mobile executive, Emily Braun can make your transition overseas a success. Visit emilybraun.com.
Coutalis is a global group with a worldwide footprint. With 16 agencies in 10 countries, Coutalis offers companies and mobile professionals a unique combination of HR services and options. Find us at coutalis.com.
Take your communication skills to the next level. Barbara Bolt of Bolt Global has a passion to make you shine. As our globe expands, effective intercultural communication and presentation is a must. Visit boltglobal.com.
So you really are proactive about parent advocacy and parent involvement.
Absolutely. Yeah. Our parents know how their students are doing on a daily basis. They pretty much get a parent teacher conference at the end of every day. They know what their student has worked on, how their student has progressed, and what their student needs to continue to work on when they are not with the teacher.
How much training do you give? I assume it's an organized thing. So here's an opportunity for you to share some deep info about how do you train the parents to be effective?
I think the parents that
I'll bet that's challenging to some extent.
Well, we work with each parent on an individual basis. So the parent who works full time that doesn't have a lot of extra time, we empower them with the knowledge and the information, and then we help support them. Our teachers are always accessible to the parents. And I think that has really created a strong bond, not just teacher and student, but teacher and parent as well.
So this kind of thing it's too early for accreditation for college prep, right?
Well, because we partner with a large charter network who is corporate accredited, so all of the schools are accredited, our students also have that benefit. So our program, our program is accredited through association.
Yeah, well, that's great. Okay, so now the next question I have is about what's your next step as a business? Is it franchising, or are you just going to stick to your knitting and make sure what you have is really effective?
Well, that's it.
Or both?
Yeah, that's it. So we're going to expand to Queen Creek. There's some potential opportunities to expand in the West Valley, but I really want growth to be purposeful and slow. In order to ensure
total control, right?
Yeah, and in order to ensure that the fidelity of the program and the implementation is intact, growth opportunities are there across the valley, but I want to be really purposeful in how we grow.
From a PR point of view with the parent community, this, I would think, being a marketing PR guy myself, that's the easiest way to grow your business is through that wonderful word of mouth from happy clients right now.
And that's what we're seeing in the Fountain Hills community. A lot of the families that have come to us based on recommendation and word of mouth. So our marketing and our PR efforts are absolutely amazing to help educate parents about micro schools and about Adamo. But realistically, it's the parent saying, my child is getting an top-notch education at Adamo, and you should check it out.
So I need to ask you, and of course, for the audience, PR here, this is not rehearsed.
No.
So Tamara, to what extent are you looking at American education virtues, flag, parents, apple pie, community involvement? I mean, these are kids from really, really young, but very exposed to media, and eighth graders who are much more mature than I ever was at eighth grade.
We start every single day with the Pledge of Allegiance. Then we have a character counts pledge that we recite each day with the students. And realistically, we make sure that we're teaching our standards, but we also want to help our students just become well-rounded individuals as they continue to grow.
Now, in the Phoenix metro region, there's a huge diversity of people from backgrounds and religion and aspirational. And I'm sure you see that even at these young ages. How do you deal with all that?
I think we just accept everybody for who they are, and we don't make any judgments on that. And we accept parents and students and just make sure that they feel welcomed in our environment, which is important.
I love that. Yeah. So, because that's part of your values, right? And that's the whole really positive approach to the microeducation concept.
Yes.
I'm just dreaming this up right now, but I'm thinking that is probably one of your attributes.
Yeah, absolutely. And because we are such a small group of parents and students, we do get to know our parents and our students on a much deeper level. The nice part is too, at the start of next school year, we can hit the ground running because our teachers will already know our students will already know our teachers and their peers. And we are almost full in Fountain Hills. So
that's great. Wow.
Yeah, so we have a couple of spots left over that we're still looking to fill, but for the most part, we are near capacity in Fountain Hills. It's probably time to maybe contemplate opening another location out there.
Yeah, well, West Valley is certainly a gold mine. Let me ask you about the mix of kids from approximately what percentage of your student population is under 10 years old?
We have 11 students in grades K through 3, and then we have 13 students in 4 through 8. So that's kind of that 10, 11-year-old mix. So we have a super nice balance between our students. And surprisingly enough, we have almost a 50-50 split boys and girls. So that's kind of unheard of. And then we have a nice mix of students. We also have some students who receive special education services. So we have all levels of students and can serve all levels of students.
It's really nice. How do I say this? What's the mix of tech and personal instruction?
When the students are face-to-face with the teacher, they are really more engaged face-to-face with the teacher. We utilize the digital platforms for reinforcement of skills and then filling those learning gaps that we see evident across the country at this point. So the students might be utilizing technology to do some research or to create a project. Right now, doing a literature study, and within that, they're talking about sea turtles. So our older students are doing a research project on endangered sea turtle species. And this relates to not just the reading, but then the science aspect, and then writing, as well as listening and speaking. So we're integrating a lot of learning and standards into one type of a project.
So do you use, as part of this educational plan, do you have everybody together and like to watch a movie, a short movie, say about endangered species, or about how turtles live from the land to the sea and then come back, and and then discuss whatever they saw?
So yes and no. We just concluded a unit on the solar system, and this aligned to standards in grades 4 through 6. Solar system, galaxies. We read A Wrinkle in Time, which is again more of a sci-fi type of thing, and then we did a study on the space race. So we started with Sputnik and we went all the way up to the 2000s, the 2010s, and we researched and watched video clips of every facet of the space exploration race.
Yeah, interesting.
And so then they were able to actually see what was taking place at that particular time in space exploration. And we're really excited because my students are going to get to talk to the pilot of the SpaceX launch before the end of this school year.
Wow, that is great. I mean, in person?
No, not in person. He'll be on Zoom.
Yeah, well, it's close enough. Okay, so to what extent do you teach public speaking? In other words, help kids get used to speaking in public?
Well, that's part of our standards and our learning. So we have listening and speaking skills. And so the students have done a number of presentations this year to work on and enhance those skills. And that goes all the way down to our younger grades as well. They've started practicing early, and we provide feedback, we give strategies, and we've seen a lot of growth in our students and their speaking abilities. In fact, one of our students was absolutely terrified to speak in front of her peers, and now she's able to stand up in front of them and give presentations, and is doing a phenomenal job. So not just academic,
wow.
Not just academic, but social gains as well.
That's really nice to know. So what about physical education, and what about like potty breaks, and lunch break? I guess lunch is universal, but everything else, I mean, it's all part of life, being in such a small group, right?
Yeah, well, we don't have any outside access, so that does present a challenge, but we incorporate physical movement into our day. So it's not like a game of tag or anything, but we incorporate physical movement to keep the kids motivated and energized as they're going throughout their learning.
So we have about 5 minutes in this short quickie talk show. We know that everybody's busy, and so we want to narrow cast rather than take all the time we can.
Right.
So what would you like to sum up with and get our audience, well, it's way beyond Arizona, but we have a lot of audience in the Phoenix metro region?
Yeah, I think what the message I want to empower parents with is that there are options for you out there. There are different options for you. And Arizona has been a trailblazer with school choice over the last 21 years. And the addition of...
And that's because of the charter system?
That's because of Charter Network, yep. And I think it's important for parents to know that they have options, and they should seek and explore those options. And any parent who is looking for a smaller, more personalized learning environment should reach out to us, because we are excited about expanding our reach and making sure that we can provide a top quality education for students in Arizona.
We are pleased to welcome Adamo Education as a proud sponsor of Global TV Talk Show.
The concept of a micro school is the reimagining of the one-room schoolhouse. My name is Tamara Becker. I'm the president and CEO of Adamo Education. The micro school concept really does not just lend itself to the personalization and the customization of learning, but also the social development and fostering that sense of love for learning. Unlike what we see in traditional brick and mortar schools, we have multiple grade levels in the same learning space. Students can be enriched by the socialization that they get, as well as the academic support from peers. What differentiates Adamo is the fact that we are taking the best pieces of brick and mortar, of digital, and then at-home learning. Students here can come 5 days a week. They can come 4 hours a day. It will really just depend on what is best for the student and for the parent. To enroll, just reach out via phone, text, or email, and we'll have that personalized conversation, and we'll be able to get you all set. Check us out at adamoeducation.org.
Become a global player in your field.
Cross Culture to Go provides virtual support for your global business and career success.
We can help you thrive in 140 plus countries and markets.
On the web at crossculturetogo.com.
So this sounds like a wonderful avant-garde, expensive proposition. It's not a private school, though, is it?
No, it's not. Because I partner with a large charter network in the state of Arizona, this is absolutely free to parents and students. So there is
That's amazing.
no cost associated with it whatsoever. And I think the biggest extent is when we take a field trip, we ask parents to drive their students because we don't provide transportation.
Well, that is good for insurance also. But so Tamara, thanks so much for coming back. And I would like you to consider doing this once a month and give us an update and talk about something that's going on that's interesting.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Great. All right, Tamara. So it's Adamo, ADAMO, AdamoEducation.org.
Yep.
Very cool. Thank you.
Thank you so much and have a good day.
Thank you. We'll be in touch. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
This is Ed in San Diego, actually in Phoenix, right down the street, a couple of miles from where Tamara is. Yes, we're based in San Diego, but visiting the Phoenix metro region for a few days, and we'll soon be in a city near you. So stay in touch. Reach me at publisher@globalbusiness.media. That's my email. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us in the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show.
Have a wonderful day and stay safe.